So good morning, everyone. Welcome to our U.S. Small Business Administration webinar today. We're going to be talking about services and supports and programs for artists of all disciplines and arts and cultural businesses of all kinds. So welcome. We are recording this session. And my name is Ginny Lupi. I am the director of the New Hampshire State Council on the Arts, and I am so happy to welcome you. I'm going to hand this over to Amy Bassett, who is the director of the New Hampshire office of the U.S. Small Business Administration. And Amy will do some introductions, and then we will start the panel discussion. Again, if you have questions, please pop them into the chat. We'll be happy to funnel those to the panelists, and there will be a question and answer session at the end. So Amy, take it away.
Great, thank you, Ginny, and good morning, everyone. As Ginny mentioned, my name is Amy Basson, and I'm the district director for the SBA here in New Hampshire. And I would like to thank Ginny for pulling together this webinar. It's the second webinar we've done for the arts community, and we're thrilled to be able to dig a little deeper into SBA programs today. And we're very happy that our partners have joined us, and you're going to hear from them directly in just a minute. And I'd also like to take a moment to thank our federal partners at FEMA, who have been doing an extensive amount of work with many business sectors, in particular the arts community. So thank you to our friends at FEMA for helping make today's event possible as well. So again, we're going to dig deeply into the SBA programs, but just by way of an overview, the SBA is a federal agency. We're a small agency with a big mission to help small businesses start, grow, and thrive. And we do this in several different ways. We help businesses gain greater access to capital. We help businesses who want to do business with the federal government gain greater access to those avenues of revenue. And as well as we provide business advising and training through our resource partners. And you're going to hear from them themselves directly in a moment, as they will get into that. But on the business advising piece, that is where I think any business can benefit, regardless of whether you're a for-profit or not-for-profit. And we hear from many of the clients of our partners that that is one of the keys to their success. And because they are official partners of the SBA, these services are provided at no cost to the business owner. We are a team of 7 SBA folks here in New Hampshire, and we could not do what we do without the help of our partners. So today we're going to hear from the New Hampshire Small Business Development Center, SCORE, the Center for Women and Enterprise, which is our women's business center. And we also have on the line, I see a representative from our Veterans Business Outreach Center. So I won't steal their thunder. I do want to give them ample time to talk about their programs. And then we will also be hearing from a client of one of our resource partners, and she'll be talking about her experience, and how the services that they provide help out. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce the first partner we're going to hear from. We're going to hear from Chondra Rebar, who is the director for the New Hampshire Center for Women and Enterprises. Chondra?
Thank you, Amy. And thank you also to Dawn with FEMA and Jenny for having me here for this panel and for pulling us all together. This is a great morning. I like starting my morning with the arts, so this is a good conversation to have. So I think I'm not going to do slides this morning. I was thinking about it, but I feel like just kind of talking with you all and kind of being able to have that conversation feels like a great way to start the day. So just to kind of give an overview of the Center for Women in Enterprise, we are a nonprofit organization that was started back in 1995 out of Boston originally. And the original mission, was to help women to start and grow small businesses, because it was recognized that there were additional hurdles and unique hurdles that women faced, particularly those that are socioeconomically disadvantaged. And that is the mission that we continue today. And as Amy said, there is someone on the line from the Veterans Business Outreach Center, and you'll hear from them later. But we actually are all under the same umbrella with VBOC. So the Center for Women Enterprise has 5 women's business centers across New England. New Hampshire is one. And then the Veterans Business Outreach Center actually covers all of New England. So we get to kind of serve quite a wide variety of folks. And please don't let our name fool you. We do serve everyone regardless of gender. So you can be a woman, but you can really anyone that comes to us is welcome. So our primary ways of serving people that come to us is through one-on-one business advising, as well as technical training, so through workshops and multi-week classes. And it's really on any topic that you can think of related to business. So it could be, someone is just starting to think about, maybe I want to be my own boss. Maybe I have this great idea, or maybe I want to take, my creativity to the next level and make this my source of income. So they could come to us and take our workshops, meet with consultants and kind of talk through their concept, develop their business model, and really create a solid foundation for their business. And then at the other end of the spectrum, we also have people that have been in business for many years who are looking to either make a change, sell their business, or to kind of level up and grow their business, possibly opening multiple locations. So we can really meet the needs of any part of the life cycle of your business. And oops, I think I just, I apologize if I get kicked out of this. It's looking like I might be required to restart my computer. So if I do get kicked out, I apologize. I'll hop back in, but I will try not to have that happen. But basically, we are, like Amy had said, we are partners with SBDC and SCORE as well. So we do partner with them because we all, understand the needs, of small business owners, and we want to fill as many gaps as we can together. And our primary networking events, I always want to put this out there too. Part of the reason why, we create the space and focus on women is to bring women together, in community and to foster that connection. We all know that, we work better together, and women are natural collaborators and connectors. So I feel like I would be remiss if I didn't mention that we are coming up to our annual conference, the Women Business Leaders Conference. And it's going to be virtual again this year. It's October 13th and 14th. And this will be the second year that we also will be holding, as part of that, the Women of Color Business Summit. So through the pandemic, not only do we recognize that women were more impacted in many cases than men when it comes to, really employment and keeping their businesses afloat. But we also realize that there are disparities based on race as well. So we really wanted to kind of put our money where our mouth is and really create space for women of color to come together and share best practices and to support each other in a space that was created by them and for them. So that is something, I'll make sure that I pop the link into the chat so that people can access that if they would like. We would love to have you join us. But I guess the last thing that I would say before I kind of pass things along is that, here in New Hampshire especially, we work with every size, small business. So if you are a solopreneur, please know that you have a home here. If you are an artist who is struggling to kind of think of themselves as a business owner, which I know can happen, you are welcome here. If you have never taken any type of business class, you are welcome here. And then all the way at the other end of the spectrum, let's say you have an MBA and you've been in business for 15 years, you are welcome here. So thank you very much. And yeah, I don't know if we're doing questions or if I should just pass it along to the next person.
I would say pass it along to the next person.
Awesome. So that will be Liz Gray with New Hampshire SBDC. It's nice to see you this morning too. Take it away.
Good morning, and thanks, Chandra, for Or to me, it's great to be here. I appreciate the invitation and excited to talk more about SBDC. As you guys saw in the registration, I'm Liz Gray. I'm the state director for the State Small Business Development Center. We are a cooperative agreement of SBA as our primary federal partner, the state, and then UNH as our host institution. But as the cooperative agreement, we partner with all the folks on this call. So under that SBA umbrella, like Amy had mentioned, and Chondra too, you know, there's us, there's CWE, there's VBAC, and lots of great folks that you can tap into. So I hope the one big takeaway that you have for today is that you can reach out to any and all of us. I love the way Chandra just said, you are welcome here. You are welcome to connect with every single member of the SBA's resource team. And, you know, it's been great also working with Ginny on a number of other initiatives. And I saw they're on here as well somewhere, but she's missing on my screen. She must be on the next one. So some really great arts organizations that we've had the opportunity to partner with. Sorry, that was my phone just moving. But back to what SBDC is. You know, our primary focus and our mission is to provide one-on-one business advising to small businesses across the state of New Hampshire. And when I say small, we work off of SBA's definition of up to 500 employees. So that means 99% of New Hampshire's businesses we can work with, which I'm guessing every single one of you is under 500 employees. But, you know, to get more specific though, like we work with, like Chandra was saying, a very similar grouping of businesses. We can work with the entrepreneur that has an idea, wants to get started, needs help developing a business plan, all the way on through the life cycle of that business. So, you know, whether they're trying to create a growth plan, need some help with the marketing, need to set up an e-commerce site, looking at connecting with some of the organizations to be able to sell their products, or exporting, all the way on through selling their company. So we've got a lot of great resources and an outstanding team. One of our business advisors, Jill Spee, is on the call today. So hi, Jill. Great to see you. But the way we are set up, our advisors are set up regionally. So we've got our Seacoast team, which Jill is a part of, our Merrimack Valley team, the western part of the state covering Cheshire and Sullivan, and then our lakes, kind of our lakes region and beyond with Belknap and Grafton, and then our North Country. So no matter where you are in the state, our advisors are close-ish by. And then of course, through COVID, we've transitioned to doing the vast majority of our work online. So whether it's a Zoom, a webinar, or accessing more of our resources online. Some of the great stuff that we have online are our e-courses. You know, about 10 or so years ago, we decided to start developing e-courses. So you'll see them, we've got probably about 25 or so online right now, and we'll be adding another 5 in the next few weeks. So we're excited about that. It can be topics on marketing, on HR, starting that business, a business, and a variety of other topics. So I hope you have a chance to check those out. One other thing, not necessarily maybe for you all, but somebody else that is getting started, we are going to be doing a starting a business series with our advisors kicking off in October. So that is for somebody that just started a business or is again thinking about starting that business and needs that support. So if you have any friends or colleagues that are looking at taking their art or any of them they're making and they want to start selling those items, send them over to us, send them to CWE, send them to any of the partners, kind of get them in that. We have this structured series that we'll be launching in October, and it'll be over the course of, we're debating on 4 or 5 weeks right now, but a lot of one-on-one support with our advisors, as well as set curriculum to kind of walk folks through it. Another cool thing that we are actually partnering with Ginny and a number of the other arts organizations I'm not sure if you guys have seen it yet, but our business resiliency survey. I would love it if every single one of you would take a minute to fill that out. We did the survey back in, we've done 2 phases. This is our 3rd phase. We did the first one in June of 2020, the second in February of 2021, and the 3rd is live right now and will be live through October 1st. What we're trying to pull together is information on businesses across the state, their needs, their challenges, so that we better understand what's going on right now. And we will develop programming and support targeted to you all now. Like, we know, we see what our clients, what's happening with our clients now, but we want to hear from a larger group. Oh, thank you so much, Ginny. And a really neat thing that, because we're partnering with Ginny and other arts organizations, we've been able to get a specific report on the arts community, and it's a smaller report of the entire thing. And that then pulls out all of the data specifically on you and your colleagues, so that, again, we can work with Ginny and we can work with Jessica, we can work with Miriam Carter at the league and figure out exactly what we all should be doing to better support you. So your feedback is super, super important. So please, I wouldn't say don't do the survey while you're on the Zoom, but click the link, open it up for later, and please spend a few minutes with us to share that information. And, like Chondra was saying, in terms of following CWE, would love for you to sign up for our newsletter or connect with us on social media, so that we can stay connected and you can hear some of the new things that we've got going on, whether it is the Starting a Business series, when we're launching new e-courses, or any updates on COVID relief programming and such. So I will put that link into the chat as well as my email. So thank you so much for your time, and I'll be around for questions later. And I think I am going to be turning it over to Paul now, if I'm right. Yes.
You sure you want to do that?
I mean, you're next on the agenda, so.
That's what I say. That's what it says. Well, SCORE mirrors your group. We're free. We're 70 strong and growing. SCORE means Service Corps of Retired Executives. Hardly anymore, because with the new technologies and social networking and website development, we brought on probably 20-25% of our mentors are under 30. They're sharp, they're experienced. Most of them are working. It's real time. Most of the older mentors are still working and have real-time experience that we can lend to our potential clients in either starting their business or maintaining their business is moving forward. If you're somebody new that wants to start a business, we have an online presence at MerrimackValleyScore.org, and you would click Compass. It's a business assessment program that allows you to pump in the information about your expectations and allows us to designate the closest mentor to match your expectations, so that we can be helpful either in developing a marketing plan, a business plan, how to hit the front lines and basic training, whatever. We have very, very dedicated people that are very serious about helping a lot of needy people as far as they're in conundrums, as far as their business is concerned, not knowing which way to turn. And we do our very best to try to help them the right direction to either survive through the COVID. We had a lot of situations where we were helpful and people didn't understand how to access some of the benefits that the SBA offered, and we were there right at the forefront. We ran seminars, we run seminars, we run workshops, we run workshops nationally. We're one of the lead chapters in the country as far as the volume and attendance that we have on our workshops. We have the greatest concentration of retired executives in our chapter, probably, definitely within the state, but probably within the country, because a lot of them are in the Manchester area that are retired, have plenty of experience in wanting to help people in their respective disciplines, whether it's in foreign trade, or it's in asset management, product development, real estate, you name it, we're there. The team is there. If we can't help you on an individual basis, then we'll bring in a partner, another SCORE chapter member that will assist us in certain components of what your requirements may be to help yourself move forward. One of the benefits of being in SCORE is to help people, all right? And one of the first things that I say, this isn't going to work unless I can learn something from you. And those there are those clients such as Brianna that I learn every second of every day something new. She is the closest thing to perpetual energy on the planet. It's like nonstop. She just came back from Germany, 3 or 4 days, there and back, big business. I'll let her explain. And she's right back running on the track. She is absolutely a gem. She was an SBA award winner last year. She earned it. She's moving forward and moves along in time. I'm going to put her up again for another award. She is the best example of what SCORE is about, and our clients feed us the energy that we need to help them. So are there any questions? Or we have a question and answer period later that
Hi,
Yeah, we will
Paul, this
jump
is
into-
Amy. Yeah, Paul,
go
we'll
ahead.
take questions at the end.
okay.
And would love to hear from Brianna, but I know we were able to have Jenny Murphy from the Veterans Business Outreach Center join us today. So if we could give Jenny a couple minutes to talk about VBOC, that would be terrific.
Thanks so much, Amy, and good morning, everyone. My name is Jenny Murphy. I am the director of the Veterans Business Outreach Center of New England, and we serve veterans and their spouses throughout all of New England, including New Hampshire. So my colleague, Holly Aker, is also on the call as well, and we're delighted to be here. So the Veterans Business Outreach Center of New England provides opportunities for folks who are seeking to access support as they are either starting their small business, if they are currently running a small business, or if they're looking to exit their small business. We have a variety of different resources that we can provide, including one-on-one counseling services with either Holly or myself. And we also have a pool of consultants who have a very long time of business and business development experience to be able to help folks really understand what steps they need to take in order to ensure their business is successful. We also offer a variety of different types of trainings, including training to be able to help folks who are at the beginning of the business development process really be able to understand how to be able to build that business infrastructure in a way that's going to support their success in the long term. So we are really fortunate to be part of a really strong SBA resource network, and we work really closely with all the folks that you have heard from. And I saw Holly put in our web address in the chat. So if folks are interested in connecting with us, please feel free to let us know, and we're happy to be able to talk about where you're at in your business development process and how we can provide those supports. Thanks so much, Amy.
Thanks, Jenny. Really appreciate that you were able to join us today. Thank you. And as Paul had sort of teed up, we would love to welcome Briana Ross, an SBA award-winning woman-owned business, and first of all, hear from Briana about her story, and then also how she was assisted by the SBA resource partners. Briana, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you all for having me. What an honor. And Paul, I thank you. I think I'm still blushing a little bit from that marvelous introduction. So thank you again. Little bit about my story. Hammar's Art Studio was started actually way back in 1976. My dad had started an art studio, but later on down the road ended up selling it. And fast forward into 2016, I found myself back in my hometown, married with 4 children, and after leaving corporate America, deciding that, gee, I didn't want to go back to any of that. I wanted to raise my children, and decided to go into business for myself. But after growing up in the family art business, I realized that you know, it's tough. It is a long road. You need a lot of resources. It's so hard to overcome so much. And a lot of times you feel very alone. And that's when I reached out to SCORE, and I met Paul because I wanted to be in business for myself, but not by myself. And our relationship has been just extraordinary. He's my coach. Anybody in business or anybody that is a professional athlete that experiences a lot of success has a wonderful mentor in their life. And this is what SCORE has offered me and has provided for me, thanks to Paul and all the wonderful resources that they continue to put together. As he mentioned, that they're just a wealth of information. And not to mention the SBA is just, you know, it continues to offer us so much. It is just so extensive. And I've certainly benefited from that. You know, as I continue to grow, I am building a second studio, or let's say I'm trying to. I'm sure you all are very well aware of all of the barriers right now with construction and gaining access to materials and such. So there is a plan in place, and we're in the permit stage to get that underway in Draget, Massachusetts, to open our second location. So I do want to mention that on here it says Pelham, New Hampshire, but we did undergo a move back in March. So we're now in Salem. We're in the Rockingham Park Mall. So I'd like to offer everybody on this call and in our audience, after all, we're here to support each other, to help. If there are any artists or aspiring artists, please reach out to our studio. I hope it's okay that I can put all of our contact information in the, I don't know, notes or chat area at the end, because we offer several opportunities at our studio. We offer full-time employment, part-time employment, but also independent subcontracting opportunities. So if someone is a special in portraiture, or an expert in, I don't know, baking or cake decorating, we would love to hear from those people, because I'd like to offer that as something that we could feature in our studio. And you never know where that may take someone. Thank you again. I think I have to hand this back over to Jenny.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. Lots of really great information. And now we've got almost a half hour for questions. And so I would invite everyone, you can put your questions in the chat, or we can just do a pop-up. So feel free, you can raise your hand, or just put your question in the chat.
Ginny, if I could sort of kick things off a little
Please.
bit. Sometimes I know we throw a lot of information out at people on these webinars. So I thought what might be helpful is, as people sort of get a chance to go through it, but if each of the partners could just briefly talk about what's the best way to connect with you if someone wants to get business advising.
I'll jump in. I posted in the chat that you can visit us on our website, and there is a link actually at the top of our webpage that will help you register as a client, and then our client experience coordinator, Trisha Utley, would reach out to you. But you can also just email us directly at info.newhampshire@cweonline.org. And for those that prefer the phone, I also posted the phone number, 603, of course, 318-7580. And the only thing that I would add is that we really try to tailor our services and support to the individual. So typically, if you call us and you say, I need this, we're still going to want to get some, information about you and your business so that we can make sure that if there are additional supports that would be of service to you, that we're going to connect you with those and not just focus on one thing. We really want to make sure that we take that holistic view. So if you call us and ask for a consult and we don't immediately throw you at an expert, it's most likely because we're trying to assess, do you maybe need to meet with a couple, or would you benefit the most from working on some of our classes and our workshops? So we really try and meet you exactly where you're at, but please feel free to reach out to us.
If I could jump in with SBDC, the easiest way to get started is to go onto our website, which I posted in the chat. It's nhsbdc.org. Right there on the homepage, you can request a meeting with an advisor. And from there, you'll fill out just a brief form, and our program assistant will reach out to you directly and try to schedule a meeting with an advisor in the region. So if you are in Manchester or Pelham, we'll send you to the Merrimack Valley region, connect you with a local advisor. From there, if there is additional need or something, a specialty that one of our other advisors across the state has, we'll pair you up with them for a co-advising session. As I see in here, Beth, you had mentioned an email marketing system like MailChimp. So our advisors would be able to definitely help you with that. But if there were more specific marketing questions, we have one of our team members who is our marketing guru up in the Belknap-Grafton region. We would probably pair you up with her as a co-advisor. Another way, if you don't feel comfortable quickly just doing the request for counseling online, I put my email on the chat too. You're welcome to email me and just give me a little bit about who you are, where you are, and I will get you set up with an advisor.
As far as SCORE is concerned, your best avenue to access us is merrimackvalleyscore.org. And on our website, you'll see request a mentor. And that will start the process for you to enable to describe what your expectations are. Merrimack Valley is one of two chapters. They've combined a lot of chapters in the last couple of years. There's a Seaport District of Enforcement, and the big gorilla on the block, the Army of 70, is us. And we stretch from North Conway to Keene to the Upper Valley, the Manchester area. We meet monthly on Zoom, but when this COVID thing is over, as many of us as we possibly can, meet monthly at I believe it's the Bedford Library in Bedford, New Hampshire. If you have any concerns or any questions, you may want to call us up directly. There's somebody who will answer the phone and get back to you quickly, so that you can spare the process of waiting a week or two for somebody to get back to you on the website. We hope that you will engage us for any of your needs. We want to be helpful. We are helpful. We're usually available morning, noon, and night, 24/7. Nobody really abuses that, but there are situations where something comes up and we have to have a dialogue with some of our clients, and that's what it is. And our expenses, it's very expensive to get involved with SCORE, $0. So we're free, and don't go, it's what you get is what you pay for. We're tough, we're hard. We do what we have to do. We will guide you. You set the pace as a client. If you're going to be lax, like a lax student, there's nothing we can do. You can't beat a dead horse. If we beat you and you have energy and you move forward, we move forward directly. So that's the reality of it. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That's what it is. I'm in business for myself right now. I'm in a tough business environment with non-bank lending, so on and so forth. And we get calls morning, noon, night. We're used to it. SCORE members are used to it. Engage us. Let us help you. Thank you.
And the Veterans Business Outreach Center of New England can be reached at vbocnewengland.org. And we do have an online sign-up form that folks can submit. We will follow up with you and discuss with you what your business development or business support needs are. Again, the Veterans Business Outreach Center serves veterans and their spouses. So if folks are interested in reaching out to us, we look forward to engaging with you. And like all the other folks on this call have said, if we can't provide a resource, we are more than happy to be able to connect you with others who can. So we all work together in tandem to be able to really provide those meaningful supports that are going to allow folks to be successful both now and in the long term.
Okay, other questions? So folks were asking in the chat, Brianna, about your business's name. And so we've put the link to your website in the chat so that people can click through and take a look at all of the things that you're doing. I just wanted to say that I see a number of representatives from nonprofit organizations on the call today. And I just want to remind you that these services are available to you too. And a business really is a business is a business. And so if you have needs, if your organization, your nonprofit has certain needs, I really recommend that you reach out to these wonderful organizations in addition to reaching out to the New Hampshire Center for Nonprofits. So questions. I see a hand up. James Kelly, you can unmute yourself.
Thank you. My question is very relevant to what you just said. I'm on the board of a nonprofit called the Max Makerspace in Peterborough, and we took over a collaborative effort to replace Sharon Arts in our community in terms of the training and support for artists in our community. And so, we have a facility that we've created to train people in ceramics. We have a training program tied into Dublin School. So we got a variety of things going on to support artists in our local community in this region. One of the things we're starting to do is to create an arts gallery at our Max Makerspace in Peterborough to actually put art up for sale and awareness in our community. And one of the things we have to do is create a restructuring of our makerspace facility, and then essentially set up an arts gallery. Does anybody here support our effort to create that gallery in our makerspace?
Well, James, I can say that we may be able to matchmake and put you in touch with some gallerists that we are aware of around the state. In fact, and nonprofit organizations that also have galleries and offer artists' work for sale. So we can certainly help you with some of that, with some good brains to pick.
Okay, so who would be good to contact about that?
Actually, you can contact me, and then I can help make the introductions. I'll put my email address in the chat.
Good, thank you.
You're welcome.
And we are a nonprofit. I'm sure that's clear. I mean, we're not doing this as a business. We're doing it as a nonprofit.
Yep. Well, you are a business, and hopefully you will be taking a small percentage of sales to help manage the gallery.
Sure.
I think that's very, very important, but it's a wonderful service to be providing to artists.
And Jenny, if I could just jump in for a second,
Sure.
Because SBA does have financial assistance loan programs, and under our regular umbrella, one of the key eligibility criteria is that the business must be operated for profit. So unfortunately, under the umbrella of our regular loan programs, we wouldn't be able to back a loan to a nonprofit. We do have a host of pandemic economic relief programs that are available, but those are really specifically tied towards economic recovery due to impacts of the pandemic. But Paul, excuse me, James, you may want to, there's an awful lot of other grant programs that are out there, and I will pop my email address into the chat as well. And maybe some of those, I know the team at FEMA is regularly keeping tabs on federal grants that are available. And there may be some of those if you're sort of transitioning your model, due to COVID, trying to find a revenue stream, some of those grants might be available as well.
Thank you.
Hey, Brianna, could you give us what a daily peak at the studio looks like?
Sure. Thank you, Paul. So in our new location at the Mall of Rockingham Park, we have walk-in ceramics using acrylic paints. So we don't fire anything. So guests can come in, they can make an appointment, or they can just spontaneously walk in. If they're children, we just ask them to be accompanied by a supporting adult. And there's a lot of variety there. Our new space, I believe, is 2,300 square feet. We have a fully functioning art studio in the back where we seat about 16 adults comfortably. We have drawing programs, painting programs, paint nights, events, camp programs that will be coming back again for December vacation timeframe when kids are out of school. And then we'll have a February vacation and also an April and summer camp program. So we also will have basically like a guest artisan come in that can do their area of expertise as a string of classes. So James, if you have someone that, they're, like I was mentioning before, they're, let's say, are expert in charcoal portraiture, we would love to hear from them. Please send me some portfolio images, and we can get that ball rolling, and you never know where it goes. I have artists that have said, I got my start at Hammar's art studio. One thing leads to the next. It's great exposure there. I will say our new space in Drake, I don't know if this is too far for you, James, but you may want to reach out down the road. We will be taking pieces on commission as well. And we will have a static gallery, and those artists will have their biography out there and things for resale. So we'll also be able to do shows there, and the seating will be a lot more, about maybe 35 to 40 in that new space.
Excellent. Excellent. So I'm going to make a match right now. There's a little discussion going on in the chat. Dorothy Varaka from the Barnstormers Theater talking about needing to upgrade their HVAC system. And so Dorothy, I think that you should talk with Christine at the Colonial Theater in Bethlehem, because they just upgraded theirs, and she probably has a lot of good advice for you. And maybe she can make a recommendation for someone to do that work. So, that's the beauty of these kinds of meetings. We can connect people. Other questions?
Thank you, Jenny.
You're welcome. Questions, comments? Everybody's quiet this morning. There's a lot of information to absorb with these webinars too. So I put in the chat several times a landing page where all of the contact information for these partners can be found. And really do, oh, and now Ethan is talking about HVAC from the Weather Vane Theater. So this is good. This is very good. This is what we like to see. Other questions?
Amy, if I can just jump in and answer Debbie's
Please.
question in there.
Please.
I'm guessing you're asking, are there fees for any of our services, whether it's SBDC, CWA, VBAC, SCORE? The vast majority of our services are provided at no cost. And I always forget to say that, and I'm so thankful that other partners always do remember to say that, but it is so important. So you can take advantage of, again, any one of the partners' offerings at no cost. And you can go and meet with an SBDC advisor, somebody on Chondra's team, somebody at SCORE. You guys, you know, the sky's the limit in terms of what you can take advantage of. So please do, please do connect with us. And I have a feeling you'll take away some really interesting tidbits from each of our organizations, whether it's the advising, the e-courses, a webinar, or a workshop and more extensive training. So.
I would just add to that, for the Center for Women in Enterprise, there are some of our services that we are returning to potentially charging for. But that being said, we have a scholarship program to make sure that finances are not a barrier to access our services. So just for the most part, we are continuing to keep everything no cost, and advising is always no cost.
Anything else? Oh, Stephanie.
Hi, I had put in the comments, but I'm wondering if, I know that we're winding up our time, but could you provide information or links in regards to the American Rescue Plan and funds that are available to artists and small businesses, and funds that we can access? There seems to be some maybe money on the table for different artists and small businesses, and how that is, information about that.
So from the arts perspective, Stephanie, we are in the process at the New Hampshire State Council on the Arts we are in process of developing a grant program with funds that we will receive from the National Endowment for the Arts. So that's in process. That may be more organization based, but we also have some CARES Act funds remaining, and we are exploring the possibility of creating a grant program for artist-run projects. So the funds that we receive, there are quite a few rules around them in terms of what we can actually use those funds for. And so we can make direct grants to artists, but they have to be for projects. And so stay tuned from our perspective. And I think our SBA partners can probably speak to what they will be doing with ARPA funds.
Yeah, and if I could expand upon that, because I know I totally respect that people want to fully explore grant opportunities versus loan opportunities, and what we currently have available through SBA through economic recovery is a loan. But as far as grants go, I would say definitely subscribe to our e-newsletter, because we send out information not only about our programs, but we do what others are offering. And just by way of an example, in Cheshire County, they are currently doing a grant opportunity for profit and for nonprofits. And I would just, if you go to their website, you can find more information, but I'm also happy to follow up with that if anybody's in Cheshire County and reaches out to me. So I would say it is specific to Cheshire County, but I do believe that other counties are taking a look at that model. So definitely stay tuned. I think there could be more becoming available in the way of grants from ARPA funds.
That's right. I think it's really important to remember that counties and municipalities also receive direct funding through the American Rescue Plan. And so, you should be paying attention to what's going on in your county government and the municipality in which you live.
I think I would just add, even though the Center for Women Enterprise, we don't provide funding ourselves, we provide support to prepare you to have all your ducks in a row to go pursue funding. I would just encourage people also to reach out to their economic development offices, because in places even like Grafton Regional Development Corporation, a lot of those organizations, have funds that can support your business right now also. So that's also a great resource.
So in my case, when it comes to art, my father was born in 1889, and I'm the oldest. I should be dead, whatever. And all I can remember, in back in his youth and growing up, you either read a book or you had a hobby if you didn't play sports. I am surrounded by art, watercolors, oil paintings, pencil drawings in every room of this house. And my children, the value of art, the time it takes to sit down, therapy, the whole idea, contemplation has to come back, has to be. I know I'm preaching to the choir, and that's what I like, preaching to the choir. And if we got 6 minutes left, if everybody that wants to post up the value of art and what it means to them, do it in 20 seconds. First come, first serve. Go for it. What does art mean to you? I see a lot of smiles.
Everyone's very quiet.
They're too busy painting. That's what it is.
I'm trying to figure out how to post it on here.
Art is freedom.
Where is it on here?
Perfect. Well, everybody is also posting and responding to Paul. Can I just answer Carol's question about helping folks change their business focus? I would say yes, definitely. A great one of the great reasons to reach out to an advisor and to set up a meeting is to just talk through where you are, what your goals are, and looking for new opportunities, and just having somebody else to bounce ideas off of that isn't, your partner or your neighbor, because you may be working on your own or have one other person or a couple of people that are employees, but having a certified business advisor to be able to bounce ideas off of and to help you think through opportunities and next steps for you to allow you to innovate or to pivot or to expand your business. Like, I love hearing what Briana said about how she was able to grow her business. Like, there are lots of opportunities that we can connect you with. So today is like a great way to start thinking about expanding your network and making those connections. But please do, reach out. I've already gotten one email from somebody on the Zoom today. So thank you. I will respond after we hang out, but hoping to hear from more of you. So thanks.
And I see that Kelly asked a question about what kinds of projects, and then Carol's question may have to do with what I was talking about in terms of a potential grant program that we're looking at. But Carol, we have an artist entrepreneurial grant program that can provide up to $1,000 to individual artists to take advantage of opportunities that can help you build your career. And so I'm going to put the link in the chat to that grant program. This grant program runs year round. It has quarterly deadlines. The next deadline is November 5th. And I am the person that you can reach out to with questions about that grant program. In terms of the question about artist-led projects, these could be community-based arts experiences for the public. It could be a partnership that an artist might have with a community to create a community mural or some kind of arts experience. And so just stay tuned to hear more about about how we're going to move forward. We haven't made any decisions yet about this, but we're looking at that kind of a model for the rest of our CARES money.
I'm glad the chat room lit up with comments on that. Wow.
It sure did. This is
And that
great.
goes my point. Sometimes people, I'm involved with the Greater New England Minority Supply Development Council. You have an opportunity to meet with major companies like Pfizer, name a point, GE, whatever. And some people talk and they talk about King Lear. There's a line behind them of 50 people and they're chatting, think they're going to get favor with a potential supply diversity purchasing agent to get their spot. I try to keep it under a minute. And I tell them, I'm going to keep it under a minute. This is what we're doing, so on and so forth. Not necessarily today because our programs are necessary to guide people for grants and loans. But you keep it simple, stupid, and more likely people will pick up your call because they know it's not going to be a 20, 25, 50-minute diatribe. They want to focus on the point. Mondello's calling. It's going to be a minute or two. You state your mission, get off and follow up on the internet and our chat or text. So that's my message. I'm available to anybody. If you want to get beat up, just give me a call.
Thank you, Paul.
In a nice way, but in a nice way.
And thank you to all of our presenters today and to all of you for being here. We really appreciate your participation. The recording will be uploaded to our YouTube and will live on our website. You will get a follow-up email with a link to the recording. And also I will try to transcribe some of the chat and we'll attach that to the email. So thanks again for being here today, and get outside and enjoy this extraordinary early fall weather. Take care, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, SBA New Hampshire team.